Okay, so in today's video, I'm going to attempt to create an island for my kitchen. My kitchen is super duper bare in the center. I have all this open space, which is nice. I got dogs and we roughhouse and play around with each other, but I got no countertop space because the rest of my countertops are filled up with stuff just like anyone else. You know how it is. I am going to buy some raw cabinets. I'm gonna paint them, and then I'm gonna create a top for my new island that's hopefully going to match the rest of my kitchen. I have granite countertops already, but I hate the look of them, but I can't just do something super crazy on my island or the lady will get mad. So I need to do something that's going to complement the style without making it look like that salt and pepper granite that is from 100 years ago, and I can't tell when it's dirty because all the grease and grime and crumbs blend in with the specks. So I'm going to try to do something subtle, something soft, maybe a soapstone. I'm sure there's other words for it, like Calcutta, black, marble, I don't know who comes up with the names of all these different stones and granite and quartzite and stuff. But anyways, as you guys know, Mitch does a really good job at teaching us to practice on a small piece. So I'm gonna take his advice. I'm gonna do just that right now. I'm gonna practice on a small scale, make sure I got my flow right, and if I nail it, boom, there's my confidence that I'll need to do the actual island. And for those who don't know me, what's up everybody? My name is Luke with Stone Coat Countertops. I'm usually behind the camera, but hey, we got some new help. They're gonna help me do the filming now so I can get my hands sticky and have some fun with you guys. So welcome to the channel if you're new here. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video with a friend. And if you don't know what we do here at Stone Coat, we teach the do-it-yourselfer, the weekend warrior, the hustler of hustlers, how to either save or make some money using epoxy to coat over existing or new surfaces. So what does that mean? That means if you're about to update something in your house, like your kitchen, you go get a quote from a contractor. They said, hello, I can do your kitchen for $10,000. And you're like, oh my gosh, that's too much money. Well, what are my other affordable options? Well, you can do this instead. This will cost me about, I don't know, $7, $8, $9 a square foot versus the alternative, which maybe I'll do the looking for you right now. And there you guys go. That is so much more expensive than what I'm doing right now. So here I am. Here we are. Let's go. You can do this too. Right now I'm just mixing up my epoxy. It's a 1-to-1 ratio, mixed for a couple minutes. We have a drill with a paddle mixer, but I don't know where it is. So I'm using a paint stick. Nothing wrong with that. Just make sure you thoroughly mix. You always want to start off with a good mix, or that brand new beautiful epoxy countertop is never going to cure. And I don't want that. You don't want that. Your mom don't want that. Your dog doesn't want that. I don't know anyone that wants that. So just be patient. Mix up 3 to 4 minutes if you're doing it by hand. Okay, now that I mixed my epoxy, I'm going to take different cups, set them out. Those will be for my different colors. So I'm going to go, my 2 main colors are going to be black and then black, just different types of black. A dye and a metallic. My accent color is just gonna be white, so smaller cup, smaller color. Again, I'm gonna try to create a soapstone-ish look, and all that is just a black base, couple white lines, and you're done. On our website, stonecoatcountertops.com, that comes with your epoxy, obviously, and black and white dye, and I'm gonna jazz it up a little bit with that black metallic powder to give it some extra shine. Once your epoxy is mixed up, pour it into your separate mixing cups. And I really don't need much of that accent color, about that much, maybe even less. And I'll put that down. I'll leave a little extra in my bucket because who knows? I might get crazy and added pink or something. We get wild around here at Stone Coat. Let me know in the comments below, what's the last project that you made, epoxy or not, and how did it go for you? Today I'm doing something I've never done before and trying to create a kitchen island, which, I mean, how hard can it be? You know, I'm trying to save a couple bucks. Besides buying a full-blown one and having someone else install it, I'm pretty confident in my abilities, but I'm gonna put that to the test today, so we'll see. Gonna get our colors mixed up, then we're gonna pour them out very quickly, and you guys are gonna see hopefully how easy this is. If I do it and it's a complete fail, well, at least I tested. That's the whole purpose of doing a sample board, to make sure you know what you're doing. Okay, now that I got my base color mixed out, it's just simple as pouring it out. So I'm gonna pour it out random. And that is dunk, our black dye. Here is that black metallic. It has some, I don't know, it has some different depth. So now I'm gonna pour that next to it And there you go. Can you see that difference? Okay, now that I put my colors out, I'm literally just going to cover my board. I don't care about over melding the colors. I want them to be nearly the same color. I'll leave a couple spots untouched, but this part is quick and fast and easy, and I'm literally not thinking about how it's looking at the moment, because the two different colors are going to fight one another and give myself a unique look and a really good base to work with. And as you can see, that took, I don't know, 10 seconds. I'll take a bottle with 91% isopropyl alcohol, give my piece a couple little spritz. All this is gonna do is take out the man-made look, pop a couple bubbles, and some magic happens. Whoa, I really love what this is already doing. This is a really cool base. We have some different fracture lines. The two different black colors are fighting against one another, giving myself almost like a 3D look. So nice. This is a really easy base to make. I think I can remake this look pretty easily for the island. Again, I'm going really subtle, which is nice, because that means I should be able to do this on a larger scale. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a little bit of the white. I'm not gonna make any veins just yet. I'm just gonna go random sauce everywhere and blend that into the background to give myself just another layer of depth. Put your stick, let it run off until most of it is gone. A little goes a long way, and then I'm just gonna go random across my board. I know someone's thinking, what are you doing? You'll see. Now, I'm just going to kind of tippity-tap, patty cake this into my piece. I actually might need some more. Let's see here. I think I will do just a little bit more. That black really soaked it up. Let's go again, a little bit bigger. There we go. Yeah, nice. And again, random. Make it easy on myself in the future when I go to actually make the island top. What do you guys think? If you had my kitchen, you guys see right now the white cabinets, you can see the granite tops that I have. They're like that white, gray, and black speckled salt and peppery look. If you were me, what color would you paint the island? Should I just do white like the rest of the kitchen? Should I go black? Or I can go gray. I'm definitely not gonna do like a color, but so what do you think? But all right, now, so you can see that I added some of the little white. Again, I'm just gonna give it a quick spritz. Boom, 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 boom. I'm gonna give this a second to evaporate, and then I'll get a torch and pop the rest of the bubbles before moving on to the next step. Now that I'm done yapping, I can torch this. Very easy. Couple inches from the top, sweep the surface. If you use the light, you can use the reflection of the light to see all those bubbles pop, and boom, I'm done. I could stop right now. A lot of people like that subtle look. It's luxurious, it's modern, it's timeless, but I'm not an interior designer. I don't know what the heck I'm looking at, but all I know is this does look good. But let's go on to the next step anyways. Now that I have my base layer, all I'm going to do now is make my veins. So same thing, I'll take my stick, I'll let some run off, I'll start off my piece, and then I'll just run across my piece in a random fashion. So I'll take my stick, let's do my first vein. Oh my gosh. Let's go like this now. Maybe it breaks off like that. And then maybe it goes like this. Boom. I'm gonna stop right there. Oh my gosh. What do I do now? It looks like it's fake. Don't worry, we have our handy dandy popsicle stick or tongue depressor if you're smart. And then I'm just gonna drive this to the vein. This is gonna help melt it in, make it look a little less fakadelic. I'll come on to the side of that vein, and I could push it with that black into it to make it even more thin. Little pro tip for you. And then I'm just gonna give this a different look. You notice how I went kind of some crazy directions? That's because some of the pictures that I saw, those fracture lines just went topsy-turvy randomly. So that's the moral of the story when you're making stuff like this. The more random, the better. Mother Nature isn't perfect. Or it is perfect, I guess. Because it isn't perfect, right? Does that make sense? So right now, that's what I'm gonna try to do. So I melted that in just a little bit. If I don't like something, like I see these little U-turns, I'll just play with it. We're talking about arts and crafts at this point, guys. Go back to your kindergarten days and you're getting sticky and playing with paint and eating glue or whatever you did. I didn't do that, I swear. All right, now that I'm done messing around, I'm going to take the secret sauce again, isopropyl alcohol, And I'm gonna spray this, and what it's going to do is push and fight and fracture those white lines to hopefully make it look, I don't know, acceptable, real. All I'm trying to do is make the lady happy, which thankfully for me, she's fairly easy to please. So I think the odds are with me today. So as you saw, I could pour in some extra ISO in my hand and do the Italian drip. That just gives heavier droplets to make a more exaggerated effect. Or I can just step back, give it a couple squirts, and let it do its thing. Okay, what do I like? What don't I like? That's a good question. I love it. 10 out of 10. Video done. Bye. Just kidding, guys. So far, I actually like this. I think this area right here looks a little weird. I'm gonna address that, but I really like these faint, thin lines because in those pictures that we saw earlier, here, I'll bring them back up. You can see that some of those fracture lines almost disappear into the black. And I think I really nailed that look with this section over here. So I'm going to do maybe I don't know, just a couple more really thin lines, and then we'll move on. And this piece is, I mean, almost done at this point. That's a little trick too. You can do a thin line, and then if you want to stop halfway through the board, you just bring your cup back and dip your stick back into your cup. That way you don't have to mess with the rest of your piece. So you guys can see in this front edge here, you want to make sure if you are doing epoxy countertops to make sure that one, your epoxy is flowing over that edge, and two, that your design carries over. I see that my vein kind of stops right here. It doesn't look like it carries over that well. So I'll come to that front edge and then just give myself a little extra to work with. Boom. If this were my island, that design's gonna carry over and make it look like a real thick, real piece of stone, which that's pretty cool. Again, all I did was add in just a little bit of that white. I'm gonna come into the side of that black, push it into it to make it a really thin line. I like that subtle look. I don't want it to be loud. Same thing over here, kind of just go through it. I'm just gonna touch up this one in the back. This vein in the back, it looks a little bit too loud for me. So I'm adding a little bit of extra black where that big white vein was because it looked too loud for me. That's why I saved some of my black, because you can always just take your main base colors and use them almost as an eraser, which is really nice. So boom, that's gonna lay out now. Cool. All right, what do you guys think of the top so far? I'm gonna come in here and just address my edges and make sure they're fully coated so that epoxy can run over the side. And then hopefully, I think this thing is just about wrapped up. So next step is I'm gonna let this cure, set up. I'll come back when it's all done, moving and grooving, doing its thing. I'll take a picture, share it with my wife. She gives me the okay, I can continue with this project. So in the meantime, we're gonna let this set up. I'll see you on the next step. It's either gonna be painting the cabinets or building the top for me to pour. I'll see you at the next step.
Stone